Seth Meyers. This is Late Night. We hope you're doing well. And now, if you don't mind, we're going to do the news. President Biden called on Congress today to pass the Senate's bipartisan foreign aid bill and said, quote, "The rest of the world looks to us. Unfortunately, they look at us the same way Ice Spice looks at the Super Bowl." According to the latest numbers, Sunday night's Super Bowl surpassed the moon landing to become the most watched U.S. broadcast of all time. And it can't be a coincidence that the two biggest broadcasts of all time were faked by the CIA. That's right, 123.4 million people watched the Super Bowl, making it the most watched television broadcast ever. Yet another successful boycott by Trump supporters. According to a new report, President Biden has become increasingly frustrated with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and referred to him in private meetings as, quote, "this guy." Ooh, that can't be good. This guy is how you refer to your ex's new husband. This guy thinks he can tell me how to raise my kids? Oh, is tonight the night with a bunch of ex-husbands? It's ex-husband night? Oh, my goodness. Presidential candidate Nikki Haley told reporters yesterday that when former President Trump goes off his teleprompter, that's him speaking from the heart. Or more likely, he just spotted a long word coming up. Toilets, they don't flush anymore. Am I right, folks? In a statement released yesterday, former President Trump suggested new leaders to the Republican National Committee and said, quote, "every penny will be used properly. No promises, though, for nickels and higher." In the same statement, former President Trump said his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, should be the co-chair of the RNC and that her husband, Eric, should be ambassador to wherever is farthest. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, all that Walgreens has left is "to my daughter's hot friend." Elton John is auctioning off hundreds of items from his Atlanta home, which include artwork, a pinball machine, and a grand piano. And that was all just one outfit. Researchers at an aquarium in North Carolina have reported that a female stingray is pregnant despite being in a tank without any male stingrays. It's the biggest miracle at the aquarium since the Sturgeon Mary. Judge me. It's the best joke you're gonna hear this week, and it's only Tuesday! Yeah, I don't love the drawing. A couple in Minnesota recently discovered decades-old love letters hidden behind a bathroom wall while remodeling their home. And they tell the story of a passionate love that went unrequited because somebody didn't know how to mail a letter. I guess I just put it in this vent. And finally, authorities in California recently arrested the owner of a donut shop who allegedly sold illegal narcotics from the store. I mean, come on, you didn't think America really ran on Dunkin', did you? And that was a monologue, everybody. Got a great job for you tonight. He is the Emmy-winning host of All In with Chris Hayes on MSNBC and a great friend of this show. Chris Hayes is going to be here tonight. She is a very funny actress you know from the film Blockers and the show Miracle Workers. She stars in Drive Away Dolls, which is in theaters next weekend. Geraldine Viswanathan will be joining us. And he's got a new stand-up special. It's called No Questions Asked. It debuted today on YouTube. We'll have stand-up from our very own Matt Goldich, everybody. Guys, my brother and I, we have an established podcast. It's called Family Trips. Josh and I talked to our guests about the trips they took as a kid. Rachel Bilson is on this week. She's fantastic. Give it a listen. Also, I've got stand-up dates coming up. Burlington, Vermont, February 23rd at the Flynn. There you go. And Hartford, Connecticut, February 24th at the Bushnell. Tickets are available at SethMeyers.com. We would love to see you. Guys, moving on. If you've been following the news recently, you may have heard that Apple released a new augmented reality headset called the Vision Pro. You see people walking around in the world right now wearing robot goggles out in public, and well, it freaks me out. That's what it does. It freaks me the hell out. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm getting older. Sometimes I don't even recognize the world I'm living in anymore. Things are changing every day, and not always for the better. So it's time to take a moment to talk about how things were, well, just a bit more simple back in my day. Back in my day, people weren't wearing expensive Vision Pro headsets. If you wanted everybody to know you were a virgin, there were a million cheaper ways to do it. Like getting real mad when your coworker called him Baby Yoda. His name is Grogu, dagnammit. Back in my day, people weren't complaining when the emergency exit door on their airplane ripped off in the middle of their flight. Sully burgers. Back in my day, if the exit door ripped off mid-flight, you knew to keep your mouth shut and embrace the extra legroom. That's what we called a free upgrade. Back in my day, the artificial intelligence company OpenAI wasn't partnering with Arizona State University to build an AI tutor for students. Back in my day, nobody was tutoring Arizona State students. That place was the Wild West. No classes, no credits. Hell, I'm not even sure they had a campus. And instead of a diploma, they'd just give you a tattoo of a sassy little devil with a pitchfork. Say, Rusty, do you know what they call that little Arizona State devil? Oh, also Grogu. Back in my day, we weren't spending $50 on silly designer fads like Stanley Cups, guzzle buckets. Back in my day, if you were parched, you had to get off your keister and walk over to a water fountain and use it to fill up your sensible $45 hydro flask. Back in my day, explorers weren't looking for the remnants of Amelia Earhart's doomed plane from the 1930s. Mayday! Back in my day, explorers used to search for historically important things, like the remnants of a submersible full of billionaires. Looks like the audience got the bends. Back in my day, the Chiefs weren't playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl. They were? When was that? Oh, February 2020. Oh, wait. Now I remember that game. It was Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback for the Chiefs, and now it wasn't Brock Purdy for the Niners. Who was it? Janine Garofalo. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo. That makes more sense. Same result, though. Back in my day, Facebook wasn't turning 20, its users were. Now everyone who uses Facebook is over 50 and posting things like, this girl got the vaccine and now she walks backwards. Let's be real, that site stopped being fun the day all of our uncles got high-speed internet. Back in my day, the sandwich chain Subway wasn't offering foot-long desserts. Back in my day, our desserts were normal size, like 3 or 4 inches, which is perfectly respectable. Get anything more than that is a waste, I say. People should be happy they're getting any dessert at all, is what I tell my wife. Yeah, they get it. They don't love it, but they get it. Comprehension of the many problems with that joke. Yeah, enough, all right. Back in my day, kids weren't going absolutely nuts for a dog named Bluey. No, back then we had a dog who didn't have to use some gimmick like being blue in order to capture the imaginations of children. It was a little show called Blue's Clues. And sure, okay, that dog was also blue, but unlike Bluey, he actually did like solve puzzles. Rusty, you were not up for that part. Why? Okay, because you're not blue. That is not racist. Back in my day, Elmo, you know. Sometimes you gotta say it 3 times to make sure he's listening. Back in my day, Elmo wasn't asking everybody on Twitter if they were okay. Back in my day, it was understood. If you were on Twitter, you were not okay. Back in my day, we weren't testing dog poop for DNA so we could track down owners and fine them for not picking it up. Back in my day, we were testing dog urine. And that's because this one here was on the juice. I'm talking dude used to be jacked, eating 10 raw chickens a day, doing chin-ups with one paw. Looked like a furry little Zac Efron. Do we got a picture? Oh, yeah, there he is. And I'm happy to announce that Rusty is finally off the roids. And not a minute too. Hey! You knocked that out, Rusty! Bad dog! For you watching at home, everybody here in the studio watched a man sneak out and put that in his mouth. Little bit less magic of television for everybody. I'm sorry to ruin it for you at home. The good news is he's only been in my periphery for 6 minutes. Just a guy in all black holding a needle. If I was Christian Bale, you'd be dead right now. Back in my day, we didn't have drugs like Ozempic to try and lose weight. Back in my day, if you wanted to get in shape, you had to do it the old-fashioned way by taking handfuls of ephedrine and eating those low-fat potato chips that made you crap your pants. You'd look so good, you didn't even mind all that crap in your pants. Back in my day, we weren't celebrating the 50th anniversary of our segment, Jokes Seth Can't Tell, on this show. Back in my day, we were doing Back in My Day for the 50th time, and no one gave a flying I bet the writer of this segment doesn't even know how many Back in My Days we've done. Do you, Ben?
I didn't know I was supposed to keep count.
Hey, Ben, let me ask you something. Why do you think Back in My Day hasn't achieved the same cultural significance as Jokes Seth Can't Tell?
Maybe because there's a talking dog.
Whoa, that's the roid rage talking. Back in my day, Disney Plus wasn't banning password sharing on their streaming platforms. Back in my day, your dad was banning password sharing because he was getting sick and tired of his deadbeat son piggybacking off his dime. So one day he cut you off. Cold turkey. Was it hard? Yeah, you bet it was hard. You had to start over from scratch with nothing but the ad-supported Amazon Freevee channel. And oh, how you resented the old man for that. I mean, what kind of cruel, bitter, black-hearted monster tosses his own child out in the street like that? No Mandalorian, no Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not even the comfort of Boy Meets World. But as with all things, time marched on. You did what you had to do. Pulled yourself up by the bootstraps and purchased your own Disney Plus account. Then late one night, your phone rang. You pick it up. Hello? You say. Gravelly voice on the other end comes on and says, hello, son. Wondering if your dear old pops could perhaps get you a Peacock password. Hate wells up in your throat. Your chest tightens. Your eyes narrow. And in that moment, all the pain, all the anger inside of you, to your surprise, it just melts away. And you realized at that moment what he was trying to do all along. He wasn't trying to punish you. He was trying to help you. Trying to mold you. Shape you into a grown man you could be proud of. He could be proud of. He was showing you, well, no. Could it be? Maybe it was. Maybe he was showing you love. And in that moment, you saw the totality of your father. You saw how he, like you, was just a frail, mortal creature trying to do his best. And you respected him for the choice he made and the gift he gave you, the gift of self-reliance. Hold this for me. And so you gave him your Peacock password. You gave it to him with a smile on your face. But you didn't tell him which letters are supposed to be uppercase and which ones are supposed to be lowercase, because you knew he would go stark raving mad trying to figure it out. And that made you happy. I'm sorry that I had to do that, but I guess sometimes this grumpy Gus has got to get his gripe on. This has been back in my day. We'll be right back with Chris Hayes.